At this point, if you're black, any statement that Brandon Tatum says, you just know the opposite is true.
Proud Boys are not racist.
What would you say the Proud Boys are?
Well, first of all, the Proud Boys are run by a black guy.
They're not.
He's Dominican. He's a black guy.
Besides all the cover he's running for the white teens, family, and authorities in the Nolan Wells case.
According to what they told me, they all took a lot of tech tests and passed. And it's an equivalent of a lot of tech tests.
He took time out of his busy raccoon tap dancing schedule to defend the Proud Boys.
So when they are saying things like white man fight back, what do you think the messaging is?
If you're a racist person, you see that as race. If you're seeing that injustice is happening to white people and you're standing up for the injustice against white people, there's nothing wrong with that.
And at this point, I think we just got to give Dog top raccoon of the year. I don't think anybody else is even touching him. But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it.
He's done a lot of things that help and benefit the black community. People take one little thing that he denounced and try to make that his entire character. I don't think that that's fair.
I think at a time where racial tensions are clearly high, there's been a lot of racial battles, and he hasn't denounced many situations. And I feel that...
Like which one? I don't know which one he hasn't denounced.
Having the Proud Boys march in Washington, D.C.,
Proud Boys are not racist.
What would you say the Proud Boys are?
Well, first of all, the Proud Boys are run by a black guy.
They're not.
He's Dominican. He's a black guy.
Yo, if you don't give this man nothing else, give him credit for being able to fucking grift with a straight face. The Proud Boys are insanely racist, and anytime there was anything involving Black Lives Matter, you can bet they were there counter-protesting and trying to incite violence. On top of that, the Proud Boys are not run by a black guy. They were actually founded by this guy, Galvin McInnes, who used to own and run Vice.
I started this gang called the Proud Boys. And,
the Proud Boys?
The Proud Boys.
What's Proud Boys about?
We have chapters all over the world. We meet, once a month.
Chapters?
We get drunk and it's like the Elks Lodge.
Okay.
Like Masons or whatever.
Celebrating manhood.
Yeah, no woman allowed.
Oh, wow.
You can't tell your woman what goes on at the meetings. And we have different degrees, like the Knights of Columbus. First degree, you declare yourself a Proud Boy. Second degree, we beat the shit out of you until you can name 5 breakfast cereals, and you have to give up masturbating. And then third degree, you still have to give up masturbating, but you have to get a tattoo. And then fourth degree, you get arrested or in a serious violent fight for the cause.
Really?
Yes.
You get arrested in a serious violent fight, so you're promoting violence?
I can't remember if he got kicked out of the company or left because he was trying to take content more right-wing and they weren't going for it. But the guy Enrique, who is not black, I believe he's Cuban, actually ran the Proud Boys for X amount of years. I know at one point he was facing, I want to say like 20 years in prison for his role in the January 6th insurrection before Donald Trump pardoned him.
Enrique Tarrio, who was the chairman of the national chapter and was one of the people who got a seditious conspiracy charge for January 6th, is of black Cuban descent.
Some of the J6ers behind me were arrested in January of 21. They were able to push their trial past Inauguration Day.
But this is not a black dude and he does not identify as such. But what they've always done is use him as an example of why they're not racist.
Themselves to you as anti-racist. How do those two things line up?
They definitely don't mean anti-racist in the way that people on the left would think of that term.
How many ways is there to think of anti-racist?
They don't see themselves as white nationalists, and there are plenty of members of the Proud Boys, including in the chapter I visited, who are not white. In the Cape Fear Proud Boys, I met a man who goes by Scottin. He's a Native American. I asked him, do you consider yourself white? And he was a little offended at the question. Absolutely not. So they're not white nationalists in the way that some other groups are.
As if a brown person can't be racist, anti-black, or anti-anything else, or self-hating to gain a proximity to whiteness. They think people are dumb. Officer Tatum is dumb, but they think everybody else is dumb.
They're not racist in the way that you would see like from the Klan or from some very far-right groups. At the same time, they're pushing an agenda that a lot of us would see as white supremacists, sort of keeping in place the policies that have led to white domination. If we look, for example, at the Supreme Court rulings recently that rolled back parts of the Voting Rights Act, that's something that this chapter and the Proud Boys generally celebrated, seeing that as sort of restoring the power that should be in the hands of white people. And so I think they see themselves as not racist because they're not opposed to the existence of people of color.
Oh, thank you.
And that's sort of where their identification of racism ends.
They want to keep all black people and people of color subservient, powerless. They want us at the bottom of the power structure with white people up front, up top, and in control of all things. Hence, white supremacists and racists. This is an article from Fort Ham Law. Proud Boys Latino Connection explained. The notion that people of color can't possibly belong to white nationalist hate groups has been exposed as a plain fallacy. I mean, look at Officer Tatum. Black and brown members of such groups often play the role as useful idiots, as others have put it, because they offer the perfect cover to mask these extremist organizations' latent racism. Meaning, look, we have a black guy, we can't be racist. We have a Latino or a Native American, as if they can't be white supremacists. Hell, Nick Fuentes is the perfect example. He's a Mexican dude, and he is the biggest name in the white nationalist, white supremacist movement. Case in point, the leader of the Proud Boys, the far-right neo-fascist group at the center of the January 6th committee hearings for its prominent role in the U.S. Capitol insurrection, is Enrique Tarrio, a dark-skinned Cuban American, has repeatedly downplayed the group's white nationalism and notoriously told an insider reporter that he denounces white supremacy, fascism, and communism. I'm pretty brown, I'm Cuban, said Tarrio. There's nothing white supremacist about me, except you praising white supremacy and using your skin as a shield to protect it. He's not Dominican, he's Cuban, and he's not black. This dude is always dumb, always loud, always wrong, never knows what he's talking about, but just gets away with it, and it pisses me off.
And Proud Boys have supported us at a few of our events.
We're supposed to believe the Proud Boys aren't racist because they support another racist organization that was led by Charlie Kirk and now Erica Kirk, who employ this useful idiot for the same reason that they can say they're not racist because they hire black people.
And Proud Boys have supported us at a few of our events. And they're black, they're Hispanic. They've painted the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys are
white nationalists.
Correct.
They're not white nationalists. They painted them as a white nationalist because they were fighting against leftist extremists, Antifa. They're not white nationalists.
It's funny, they've literally been labeled federally as a white nationalist group.
The far-right white nationalist group known as the Proud Boys.
The Proud Boys, a group designated as a hate group.
A violent ultra-right-wing group.
Proud Boys facing assault charges.
Fistfights and violence.
Several people openly carried semi-automatic weapons.
Running around, beating, yelling homophobic slurs.
Second-degree murder, malicious wounding, and hit and run.
Facebook has begun banning pages and accounts associated with the Proud Boys, a violent far-right extremist group.
A violent far-right extremist group with video evidence.
Twitter shutting down the account of right-wing group Proud Boys.
We have a problem with this rising tide of white supremacy in America. We have to stand against
Tell 'em,
violence
Joe.
in every form it takes.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
The phrase he used
literally became their slogan.
Has already been converted into a logo that is making the rounds tonight.
The Proud Boys say they're inspired by President Trump.
The Proud Boys was one of several groups who sponsored this pro-Trump rally.
A disillusioned GOP operative who said the Trump campaign is well aware of the organized participation of Proud Boy rallies merging into Trump events. They don't care.
But now he's denying that they're white nationalists.
Maybe some of them have white nationalist perspectives, but I'm telling you, the guy who's running the organization is a black guy.
He's not black. And you see all this nuance and extra space he gives everybody else. Oh, maybe some of them have white nationalist ideologies. They're white nationalists. He does not do that when he discusses black people. If one black person does something, all black people do something. He is a fucking raccoon, and it drives me crazy. There's no nuance when he discusses black people, but everybody else gets all this nuance.
They're listening to one side. I know guys in the Proud Boys. They're not racist. They supported one of our black events.
They supported one of our black events. If you don't shut your raccoon ass up, look at her face. That face is all of our face right now. We're listening to Brandon Tatum about what's racist and not racist when he is the biggest raccoon there is, refused to even say he was black, refused to say his kids are black, refused to even raise black kids, has been defending everybody white in the Nolan Wells case and shitting on Nolan Wells and his mother every chance he gets. This is the man whose word is supposed to mean something to black people.
So when they're saying things like white man fight back, what do you think the messaging is?
If you're a racist person, you see that as race. If you're seeing that injustice is happening to white people as well as black people, and you're standing up for the injustice against white people, there's nothing wrong with that. Because white people are under attack in many of these cases. We see it right now in the case that I just exposed with Nolan Wells.
It's so funny. Before he got to that last part, I was about to say, they always say this whole thing, white people are under attack, white people are under attack. They can't tell you one way white people are under attack. Not one. Other than the country getting browner and more people having a voice that they don't like because it's a vote that they don't want. White people are not under attack. Unfortunately, white people control every level of federal and state government for the most part. They run most companies, but somehow they've convinced themselves that they are the victims, so they have a call to action to fight back against themselves because they're the ones running the show. And this man had the audacity to say white people are under attack because black people suspect them of murdering a teenage boy because all the white friends that were with Nolan Wells made it back, acted suspiciously, lawyered up, got off social media, deleted all proof of anything, and have been suspicious as fuck that he's been running cover for since day one. So for him to say a black boy's death is the reason that white people are being oppressed in this country or under attack is fucking despicable. Brandon Tatum is gonna make my blood pressure go up, man. And honestly, this is a very good breakdown of what the Proud Boys actually are, how they cover up their racism and extremism, even though they don't cover it up. They just have tokens like Tatum that are willing to use themselves to camouflage them. But they are a racist, white supremacist, extremist group on the right, period.
The Proud Boys are labeled as an extremist group by the FBI. They're described as far-right, neo-fascist group by extremism researchers. They have articulated anti-immigrant, anti-Muslim, misogynistic views.
I think it's important that we see all this discourse online across the spectrum. Some of it goes very extreme, but I'm really interested in what are these people like on the ground? How much does their online behavior match what they say and do offline? All those things that you just said, the anti-Muslim sentiment, the misogyny, the very far-right ideology, absolutely is there in person. So there's a real match to online. They drove me out to their clubhouse and gun range, scanned me for electronics before to make sure I couldn't be tracked on my way out there. And we spent half the day them shooting guns on the gun range. They had a chapter meeting that I was not allowed to attend. The way the day flowed is what I expected. But I did see a lot of hostility towards groups that they saw on the outside. They would call them Antifa, their local liberal groups, trans people. That has been a special focus of them. That was right out there in front. And they're not shy about hiding those beliefs.
They debuted in a far-right media outlet that's led by an avowed white nationalist, right? They have fought in a very violent way with Black Lives Matter marchers and protesters, and that they describe themselves to you as anti-racist. How do those two things...
A racist group describes themselves as anti-racist when any opportunity to clash with Black Lives Matter, who were doing nothing but standing up for black people, at least a movement. I know the organization is completely different, but they did everything to disrupt and cause chaos at any type of Black Lives Matter march or event.
At the same time, you take a group photo before you leave, and in that photo, every single one of those members, many of them, holds up what's really associated with sort of like a white power hand signal. Did you ask them about that?
Over and over. They texted me before and text me now with the emoji for that symbol in their text messages. And I explicitly asked them, you say you're not white nationalist, but why do you throw this up? And they gave me a line that they used a lot of the time, which is, we do this to troll the libs. We do this to make liberals upset. The origin of this OK hand signal, meaning white power, actually arose out of this online trolling situation. And it was literally invented, let's tell liberals that this means white power to upset them. But it became adopted by actual white nationalist organizations. And so,
how stupid is that? Let's come up with the gang sign that means we're in a gang to troll people to think we're in a gang, but we're not really in a gang. But in real life, we're going to throw that gang sign to signify that we are in that gang.
You also point out in your reporting this interesting contradiction, which is they call themselves the Proud Boys, and yet in the photo, they are all hiding their faces.
Because they're pussies.
Did that come up in your conversations with them?
This was a precondition of my visit. So I said I wanted to take pictures, that I'd be bringing cameras out, and they agreed to that as long as I didn't take pictures of any of their faces, which I agreed to. It came up a number of times while I was there taking pictures. They'd see the camera come up and they'd pull the gaiters up over their faces. And I assured them that I promised I would agree not to shoot their faces and would agree to that. So there is this contradiction there, right? They call themselves proud, but they don't want to be identified.
And this is who Tatum is defending. A loser defending a bunch of losers. We know exactly who Brandon Tatum is. He is King Raccoon, top dog, Uncle Ruckus. He will defend any and all races while constantly shitting on black people and the black community. But shout out to my channel and Patreon members. Thank you so much for supporting it. Thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.